Then there were the ethical implications of creating an entire branch of your species who may spend their entire existence aboard a spaceship and would definitely end up worshipping a can of beans or something. All this is to say, the vast space between galaxies was, even in the 23rd century, still the "here be dragons" part of the map. There might not have been dragons beyond the edge of the Milky Way, but there was something out there, travelling with incomprehensible speed through the unfathomable emptiness. Not too far, relatively speaking, beyond the spiral arm of the Milky Way, where a lovely if insignificant blue-green world had once orbited a G-class star. An entire civilization was moving at speeds 1,000,000 times faster than anything humanity had achieved. Their home world was long forgotten, rendered inhospitable by the death of its own star when life on Earth was little more than fancy alphabet soup. They had thrown off the shackles of organic bodies billions of years ago, and were best considered a synthetic life form, though they were not machines as any human would recognize them. Instead, they were consciousness embedded in matter, entities able to control single molecules as if they were their own appendages, and able to construct and move between bodies ranging from the microscopic to the cosmic. They were among the longest-lived species in the universe, and had passed through galaxies in the thousands, visited worlds in the trillions, and had been to each multiple times. Each time they did so with the same purpose, to cleanse advanced life as one might disinfect a kitchen bench. These beings were so ancient that no species in the galaxy knew of their existence, although there had been warnings. Peppered throughout the myths and legends of hundreds of sentient species, there was a common thread of the cosmic evil, the unknowable horror from the depths of another dimension, the great cleansers, the old ones. They were the devourers of the stars, the great living storm of steel, the lords of interstellar space, the harbingers of forever war. They were the synth Hastur, and they were entering the Milky Way. If there was anything to make humanity wish they really were alone in the universe, it was the synth Hastur. There had been attempts to protect against the grave existential threat in the past. When the synth Hastur had last come to cleanse the Milky Way, one species, now lost to time, had created the Aegis, a swarm artificial intelligence that had been programmed to adapt all sentient life in the galaxy with bio-linked technology-controlling nanobots. That plan had not been successful, although I'll let you in on a secret. It had come close. 500,000 years later, a nondescript mining colony on Iota Persei accidentally unearthed the Aegis. But in attempting to complete its original mission, the Aegis made a mess of things, a pink, goopy mess, leaving a trail of death and destruction. The Aegis had been stopped and mostly destroyed, but not before giving cryptic warnings about a galactic-level threat. There were those who believed there was something to these warnings, even if the Aegis had gone a little sideways after 500,000 years of programming errors. If the warnings could be believed, then the Aegis might still be the key to survival. Unfortunately, as the synth Hastur breached the outer edge of the galaxy, there were only 2 vestiges of the Aegis left. One was a probe that was days away from impact with the third moon of Gefet, a planet orbiting the red supergiant Betelgeuse. The other was in the body of one Captain Iridius B. Franklin. Chapter 1. Helmsman's Log. Galactic Central 2216.453.12. Lieutenant Benjamin Space Ace Rangi, helmsman and most handsome crew member of the Federation Space Command vessel Deus Ex recording. Another day aboard the Federation's most advanced stealth starship. Another mission beyond the edges of Federation space. Another day spent watching paint dry. Iridius Franklin, captain of the FSC Deus Ex, and, in his opinion at least, significantly more handsome than Rangi, stared at his helmsman in disbelief. "Rangi," he said, concerned for a moment that his helmsman had succumbed to some kind of hitherto unknown space madness. "You're literally just speaking out loud. There isn't even such a thing as a helmsman's log?" Rangi spun around on his chair, and Iridius made his 7th mental note to request some changes to the helm.